If you ever had to create a database in Airtable just to support one simple form, then you're going to love this video because we are going to be showcasing Zite Databases. Databases by Fillout are going to allow us to create and store data directly inside of Fillout and Zite, and thereby create forms that much faster, as well as vibe coding tools using Zite. So if learning more about the new databases is of interest to you, stick around and let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Gareth, and this is Gap Consulting. It's my mission to help you unlock the full potential of Airtable and related no-code tools. And while we love Airtable, it's not always the right solution to build something in Airtable when you might have a really simple need. One of those simple use cases could be something like an application form. Imagine putting out an application form to track new job applicants for your organization and needing to build a standalone Airtable base. It's not part of your regular operations, and it's just an extra database that's going to sit in Airtable and potentially confuse other users. Well, now we don't need to build that data layer specifically for that form. We can just put that data layer right inside of Fillout and Zite, and then create the form even more easily than before. Now, before we jump into the heart of the video where we're going to present a step-by-step tutorial, I first want to invite you to join us for a strategy call. If you're watching this video and you think, I don't really know the next step to go in order to get my project off the ground, we are offering complimentary calls on our website. You can sign up absolutely free and join an expert who can go through your system with you for 20 minutes and ultimately present you with a go-forward plan to help you get unstuck. Go ahead and sign up at gapconsulting.io and check out our strategy inquiry call button in the bottom corner. But without further ado, let's hop on into my screen. I am logged in at Fillout, and here I'm going to create something new. You'll see that we have databases here as a new option. It's been in beta for a while. It's finally out of beta and released to everyone. We can create a new database just by clicking here or by saying create and then scrolling down to the fourth option for databases. And when we do this, we're actually prompted with the opportunity to import data from an existing third-party source. So if you already have databases, let's say in Google Sheets or in Airtable, and you want to get them quickly converted over, there is something in place for us. You can see that you can select where that data lives, and I want to call out that Notion is in the works. It's not yet available. But in our case, we want to explore building something from scratch. So we just say blank database. And the first thing you get prompted on is going to be to name your database. I'm going to go ahead and skip out of this or just cancel and show you the different components that are available in the database. So like most good databases, you are able to add fields, and you can take a look at all the different types of fields that are already supported by Fillout. So we've got our text, long text, number, percent, currency, and checkbox, kind of standard fare. Then we have our URL, email, phone, duration, and rating. And the part that I skipped here was linking to other tables and then also being able to look up information based on that linked relationship. We also have dates and then attachments, single select, multiple select, and source. Now your tables are actually tracked in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So you can rename your tables down here, and you can also create new tables and then link them together throughout the database. So we have all of the core functionality that you would come to expect from an established database, and although it's a bit newer, it is, as I said, now out of beta and has been tried and tested by a lot of the Zite and Fillout users. So now that we have an idea what the databases can support, let's take a look at an established database that I put together for an example. We have two different tables here, applications, and then we're looking at the different jobs that we have. So we have 3 positions, senior developer, junior developer, and project manager. And I want to call out that we have a status field here that is either open or filled for these positions. And so when we've linked these open jobs over to our applicants, we want to make sure that applicants don't fill out an application for a job that's already been filled. And so we're going to build this in our form, and I'm going to show you how easily it comes together. But the first component is really building this database. And all I've done here is added new fields using the different types of field types that we called out in the first part of the video. Now let's go to the forms, and you'll be amazed at how quickly this now comes together because of the fact that we've already built the data layer directly here in Fillout. So all we have to do is click on the forms, and you'll see that we're now prompted to sync forms automatically with our no-code database. So because we started at the data layer, it's so much easier. Now we can create a new form, or we can link this database to an existing form if we had a form out there. But for us, I want to actually spin up a new form that is associated with the applications table. Check this out. I just make the selection, and just like that, the form is created. Now it's not 100%. There are components that I need to update or fix, but simply a couple of clicks, I now have a working form based on the information that came from that database that I built. Now here's what I want to update about this. The application status is not something that I need to have on the form when somebody submits the application. So obviously I'll delete this field because that is an aftermarket field. That's part of the workflow after the application's been accepted. And the other part that I called out is that we have a linked relationship to another field, right? We have the link to jobs. Now, because that is a linked field to another table, it did not by default get brought into our form. So we need to add it. Now down here on the left, you'll see that we are synced up with our form, just as you would in any Fillout form. It's telling you what the data layer or where that data is headed and what it's integrated with. And here are our choices. We see the position, and that was the name of the question. That's a linked relationship. So I can bring the position in here. And of course, that extra layer that I had mentioned, wanting to make sure that people don't look at or apply for jobs that have already been filled, well, we can set up some logic. On the right-hand side of the screen, just as we would in any Fillout form, I click on logic, and I can say hide when or show when, and then set up conditional logic. Another thing we might want to do, of course, this is available with all Fillout forms, is hide this field always. And then we can still pass information through, and it just won't show up on the form itself. So a good use case for this might be that we would put these jobs out there and say, click here to submit the application for these different jobs. In the link, when people click on that to apply for the job, we could actually pre-fill the job title in the background and collect that data here, and they would not have any idea that they told us any information about what that job is. That way they don't actually edit or change that information, but we can still collect vital information in our form submissions. But the key takeaway here is that the database is no longer spun up in another third-party tool taking up space. This is a very simple example that we don't need standalone tables and databases for, and now it's simple enough to put all of this information in our Fillout and Zite apps. Now going back to the database, not only can we do this with forms, but we can also have it integrate natively with Zite apps. So if we wanted to build an app on top of this data, let's imagine an HR app that shows a dashboard for how many different applications we've received, that sends alerts to people when an application is posted, that allows our HR team to deactivate certain jobs when they have been filled. All of this could be done inside of a Zite app. So we can go right here and start vibe coding, say create a new app, and you see that it's already connected with our database right here that we've already built. And so just using simple language prompts, we can now build the application on top of the data layer that we have full control over, thus making Fillout and Zite databases an absolute game changer all around. Now, I know we went quickly in this video. There's a lot to cover with new databases, and it's a massive feature, but I'll say, just like everything else that Fillout has shipped, this is game-changing. If you have any questions and are curious about how this can impact you as you adopt more AI and more automation in your organization, take advantage of that free strategy call that I called out at the beginning of the video. Swing by our website and get on a call with one of our team members today. In addition, if you enjoy this kind of content and want to make sure to see more just like it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and of course, thumbs up on the video. But the most important thing, my friends, keep on building.